Okay everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a first impressions of the Sunset Horizons palette from Beauty Bay. I did first impressions of the Book of Magic palette, which I guess I'll try to link down below if I remember. But I also bought this during the Black Friday sale and I haven't used it yet. So we're gonna do first impressions on this. I don't know if anyone wants to see this or if anyone is going to watch this. But I figured I might as well just film a first impressions with it, and if people don't watch it, people don't watch it. So thank you if you're watching this, which potentially is the exact opposite way that I should be approaching my channel, but here we are. Okay, so this is what the palette looks like, and some people like it, some people don't like it. I really like this. I think this is a really great example of a half warm, half cool tone palette done like really well. You already know I love the fact that there are so many deep shades in this palette, and there are quite a few light shades as well, but I really appreciate that it's not just totally mid-toned and that there are some deep shades in here, which is really great. I liked the Book of Magic palette. I'm really still like peeved about the fact that Beauty Bay is selling Jeffree Star, because why? I mean, I guess it's equally as sad that people are still buying from him, but so yeah. Anyway, on that note, let's swatch this baby out because why not? So the first shade in this palette is the shade Dusk. This is a very light pastel pinky shade. Very light. You can barely see that. The next shade is the shade Shell. This is like a beige. It's essentially a beige. It's like just a touch deeper than my skin tone. I can already tell you I'm not a fan that this shade is in this palette. Then we have the shade Mirage. This is a beautiful like metallic gold shade. It's really sparkly and pretty. It's like basically a yellow. Then we have the shade Zest. I love this shade. This is a bright matte yellow. Oops. Then we have the shade Moonlit. This is a more like subdued yellow shade. There's a word for the shade that I can never remember. Like marigold? Am I thinking of that? I don't know. Maybe I just sound dumb. Then we have the shade Flamingo. This is a bright matte pink. That's so pretty. Oh my god. I love me a pink. Then we have the shade Cocktail, which is super pretty as well. It's like a metallic bright pinky coral shade. It's so pretty. I don't think I have anything like this at all. Then we have the shade Reef. This is a matte like creamsicle orange color. And then we have the shade Burst, which I think I'm going to use today. This is so pretty. Oh my god. I literally need to fucking stop saying that. I'm annoying myself. But it's a metallic like orange and pink shade with like gold sparkle. Then we have the shade Sorbet. This is a matte deeper orange. But it has like a hint of coral to it. Then we are getting into the cool toned side. So this is the shade Hibiscus. It's a matte, bright, pretty cool toned purple. Then the shade Bikini. This is a matte, really light purple. That's quite pastel, quite light. My arms are getting a workout here. Then we have the shade Oasis. It's a really nice metallic like aqua blue shade. Like that's Really nice. Then we have the shade Deep. This is a matte, like cornflower blue. Then we have the shade Thunder. This is a matte deep navy. Ooh, that's really, really nice. Moving on to my other arm for the other, like the last row in the palette, we have the shade Twilight. It's a matte deep purple. Very like eggplant. Then we have the shade Stargazing. This is like a metallic purple. It has like a black base with a dark purple shift and sparkle to it. Then we have the shade Canyon. This is a deep matte, pretty like, yeah, cool toned brown. That was a horrible swatch. Then we have the shade Coconut, which is a really beautiful, deep metallic cool toned brown. I love that shade. I don't know what it is about cool toned browns that I really love. And then we have the shade Midnight, which is a matte black, which also looks to swatch really well. I love this like last row. That's so nice. It's spring and I'm like, look at all these dark cool tone shades. But yeah, this is the palette swatched out. I will do close-ups probably now, in between now and when I do the look. So I think I'm going to use some of the oranges today. It's full snowing outside, so I'm just trying to like, I don't know, conjure spring up in my mind. Welcome to Canada. Anyway, here are some swatches and then we'll get into the little first impressions, shall we? Okay, so now is the time to do a little look. So I don't know why, I just desperately want to do a orange look. So I'm gonna start off with the shade Zest. It is this bright yellow shade. My brushes, quite frankly, are not clean at all. Every day I'm like, oh fuck, I need to clean my brushes, and every day I proceed to not clean my brushes. So hopefully today is the day, but so they're a little bit like stained with other colors, but I promise you I brush them off. They're mostly clean. I'm just gonna run this shade through my crease. And again, I find the same thing with the Book of Magic palette. I mean, after blending this one shade into my crease, but they definitely don't show up as intense as they look in the pan, or as they swatch, although I guess, I don't know. And I think I am going to commit to this two-toned idea that I have. So I'm thinking I'm going to do pink and orange. So I'm actually going to take the shade Dusk now on my other eye, and I'm going to blend that into my crease as well. This is quite a light pink shade. Now I'm going to take the shade Sorbet. It's this really beautiful like orange corally shade. I'm going to take that on this eye with the yellow and put that in my outer corner in my crease. I really hope this turns out. Now I'm going to take the shade Flamingo on my other eye. It's this beautiful matte bright pink. I absolutely adore the tones of these two shades. I also think that it's so dumb that they discontinued the Book of Magic palette. Like, I know that there are probably a lot of reasons that they discontinued it. that I don't quite like understand, whatever, but I just think it's like the most interesting palette they had in terms of color story, and I don't know. I feel like they also didn't advertise it as limited edition as well as they could have. But maybe I also didn't follow that closely, so who fucking knows. And then I'm just gonna blend that shade out. All right, I think we're potentially on the right track here. Now on my right eye, I'm gonna go into the shade, what is this? Canyon. It's this really dark, cool toned brown. I'm gonna take that on a little brush and I'm going to run this through my outer corner and my crease. What I like about this palette too is that you can really go in so many directions with it. Like you can do a pink look, you can do like a more neutral, like warm toned brown, orangey look. You can do like a really deep neutral, smoky eye. You can go purple, you can go blue, but you have depth in all of those colorways, and that is specifically what I love about this color story. All right, and now on the pink side, I'm gonna take the shade Twilight. It's this dark eggplant purple, and I'm going to do the same thing on this side. It's not showing up quite as dark initially as the other shade did, but this brush isn't as dense, so I don't know that that's the fault of the shadow. I'm gonna be frank with you guys. I don't actually like the way this is looking because I wanted it to be like, it just looks, I feel like I have two different completely like eye looks going on, and that's not what I want. I wanted it to be a little bit more cohesive, but I just don't think it's turning out the way that I had it envisioned in my mind. So I'm gonna take this off and I'm gonna do the same thing that I did on my right eye on this eye, and then I'm gonna be back. This is sad for me because I don't actually normally have to like restart, but I want it to look like one cohesive eye look, and I don't think that's how it's looking right now, so I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm back. I did the other eye and then I cut my crease as well because I love me a half cut crease. I'm sorry. No one actually comments on that. I just feel like I have to mention the fact that I do the same eye shape a lot. Anywhoozin. Yeah, so after the unfortunate time that was the mishap of the pink eye, let's just continue on. Sometimes we make mistakes, but that's okay. But at least I like kind of tested out some other shades in this palette. So I'm just taking this Sorbet shade that I used in my crease and putting that over like my, where I cut my crease, and then I'm also stamping this on my lid. And then I'm gonna take the brown shade, the shade Canyon, and I'm gonna just run this along the edge as well. And then I'm gonna deepen up my outer corner. Now I'm gonna take the shade Burst. It's this beautiful orange shade. I'm so excited to use this. I'm gonna wet this, give it a little spray, and I'm gonna put this in the middle of my lid. Oh my goodness. I feel like I've been searching for a metallic orange for so long, and I just feel like I've never found one that like suits. Am I filming? Yes. Oh my god. I feel like I've never found one that suits like what I want. Like I want a really bright, sparkly metallic orange. I have my eye on one from JD Glow that I will probably eventually buy, but this is kind of exactly what I've been looking for. All right, I really like that. On the other side of this brush now, I'm gonna take the shade Mirage. It's this bright metallic yellow. I'm gonna spray that as well, and I'm going to put this on the inner part of my lid. Ooh, that's so pretty. Oh my goodness. I've been really on an orange train lately. Like, all I've wanted to wear is orange eyeshadow. That's so bright and so nice. Oh my goodness. I'm a fan. And then I'm gonna just go back and forth between the Mirage shade and the Burst shade, and then I'm just gonna try to blend those together a little bit. I absolutely love that. And then I'm just gonna take a touch more Sorbet and just make sure that the orange shade and the shade are blended all together, although they're very similar tones, so they're fine. And then I'm going to just run over the edge of my shadow with the shade Zest, so the yellow. Oh, there's just something about an orange and yellow crease that makes me so happy. It's like, ugh, I'm so sad that it's snowing today. At least it will be summer on my eyes. Okay, I love this. I love this so much. So now, I do think I still want to bring in the pink, even though it didn't work out how I initially planned. Oh, this yellow shade is quite flaky though. So I am going to go back into this pink Flamingo shade, and I'm going to take this time along my lower lash line. So we can still incorporate the pink. And then I'm also going to blend this out. And then I'm going to go back into the shade Twilight, so that really dark purple. And I'm going to use this to deepen up my lower lash line. Overall though, I feel like the quality, like, and the texture and performance of all these shades is very, like, consistent with the Book of Magic palette, even though I've only used that once. And then I'm going to take the shade Dusk, and I'm going to use this to blend my lower lash line out. There isn't a shade that I really want to use for my lash line, for my brow bone and my inner corner, so I'm going to use my face highlight. I'm using Benefit Cookie today. I haven't used this in a hot fucking second. So putting this on my inner corner, and just the slightest amount on my brow bone. And that is basically it for my eyes. That is it for my eyes. So I'm gonna do liner and lashes and put something on my lips and be back to give my initial thoughts at the end of the video. All right, and this is the finished look. I put a little bit of the shade Moonlight, I believe. Yes, or no, Midnight. It is this black. I put that in my outer corner. I put a pink in my waterline. It's this ColourPop one in the shade Boots. It's horrible. It's so bad. It's basically unusable, but I'm so stubborn that I keep trying to use it. And then on my lips, I use ColourPop's BFF Lippy Pencil. I'm almost out of that. And then I am using the One Wild Bare It All, or no, One Wild just lipstick. I don't know. It's their matte lipstick. It doesn't have a name. But it's the shade 902C Bare It All. It's a peach, which is out of my comfort zone a little bit. I rarely wear peaches, but we're embracing the summer vibe, I guess. I don't fucking know. But I really love the way this looks. I love pink, I love orange, I love them together. This is like a very sunset eye. Like, we are on 2018 Instagram. Anyway, this palette, I do actually like it. I feel like a lot of people didn't, like, said that they didn't, like, love this color story. I really like this color story. I'm not gonna lie, like I was saying before, you can really go so many directions with it. You can go like something more neutral, like orange, you can go pink, you can go purple, you can go blue, you can go like really dark and smoky. You really can go like a lot of ways, and there are depths, like deep shades for all of the colorways, and I just love that. There are quite a few light shades, so this Dusk shade is really light. Obviously, I don't appreciate this stupid beige shell shade in here, and then this shade Bikini, this purple shade, is also quite light as well. And these shades are a little sheer. Like, the mattes have a sheer quality to them. They aren't super like impactful in terms of like their color payoff, I find. You can build them up, but I don't know really quite how to explain it. It's a little like they're a little sheer. They're not quite the way that they appear in the pan, or even how they swatch when you put them on your eyes. I don't really feel like I've heard that many people say that about them, so maybe it's just a me thing. That's just kind of my impression of the shadows. But yeah, you can build them up. Oh, I do have a little bit of fallout from the shimmer shade here on my nose. The metallic shades are really sparkly, really pretty. I really like the metallic formula in these. Again, I've seen people say that they don't love the metallic formula in these palettes. I don't personally have an issue with them. I think they're really pretty. And overall, I really, really love this palette, especially as a budget option, because it's not incredibly expensive for the quality of the shadows and for how many shades you get in this. I think this is a really well-rounded half warm, half cool toned palette. I really, really like this, and I think it's also a good option if you really wanted the Beauty Bay Book of Magic palette, but now it's obviously not available. So you do have some purples and some blues in here. Obviously half of it is warm tone shade, so if you don't like that, then this may not be the palette for you, but you do get some of those tones in this palette as well. Like I said before, like, I would say that I would buy from Beauty Bay in the future, and like I probably would. It just is just so unfortunate and annoying that they're still selling Jeffree Star. I actually don't, I think I realized that after I bought from them, but and I like Beautylish is as well. Like, to a certain extent, I kind of understand, like, whatever. There's unfortunately apparently still a demand for it, but I just am constantly disappointed by companies acting like companies, I suppose. It's just kind of the way that the world is. So and this year I'm really trying to make an effort to support brands who are doing, whose like ethics and morals I align with more. But in terms of like budget, affordable options for palettes, I do think that this is a good option, and it's a pretty like easy shadow formula to manipulate and work with. They're really blendable, and because they are a little bit sheer, they are a little bit easier to work with and blend. So that's kind of my 2 cents on that. I actually think I'm going to do a 3 looks 1 palette video with this palette, because I'm not going to do that with the Book of Magic unless one day miraculously they bring it back, which I'm always a little bit skeptical. Like, I low-key always have a suspicion that brands are going to like bring it back, because scarcity marketing is, I think, really effective. But so it doesn't make sense for me. Anyway, it doesn't make sense for me to do a 3 looks 1 palette video with a palette that doesn't exist anymore, that people can't get. But this is still available, and I think that you can do so many different looks with it, so I think that I am going to do that with this palette. Unless you really don't want me to do it, then let me know. I guess. Okay, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you have a great day, and I will see you next time.